So while we're still here, actually, Alexander the Curious George, Alexander-Bounyavong, back on a different topic. Episode 2, Journey to Self-Actualization. At this point, I'm pretty self-actualized. I know myself very well. Very well. And how did I get here? That's open-ended question. How did I get here? Wow. Let's take it back to when I was like 16, 17, 18. I remember journaling. Oh, goodness. Young Alex B. I remember journaling, and I would journal about like heartbreak and like romance and poetry and stuff like that. And I would also journal about like ambition, financial freedom, right? Things of that nature. I remember writing these things. I remember the thirst for knowledge. I remember the drive to want to be successful. I remember on every birthday, I would wish for success. Almost every birthday, almost every year when I was like a teenager, I wished for success. I wished for success. And at some point, I stopped. I stopped doing that. To get back on topic, let's just keynote that real quick. Alex B journaled things like romance, like love. He journaled things like heartbreak. He journaled things like poetry. He journaled things like drive, ambition, wanting to be successful. Why? Why did I do that? Why? Why did I buy success books? Why did I buy why did I buy self-improvement books? Why did I want to be the best? Why did I want to be great? Why did when I was in a push-up competition in school, I wanted to be the last one standing. And I was. Multiple times. And that's a flex. Yeah, that's a flex. I guess you could say it as a flex. That could be pride talk. But it's just the truth. Sometimes I wouldn't always be the only one standing. Sometimes I would, let up and let somebody else be the last one standing. There's been moments like that. But you find out a lot about yourself, right? Actualization, self-actualization. You find out a lot about yourself when you push yourself to the last brink of your breath, of exhaustion. When you test yourself. Key word, test. There's always a test. You're always being tested. Ain't that true? That's deep. Wow. So this journey to self-actualization, a lot of this actualization came from moments of being put to the test, being tested. Oh, I could go on about this for days, weeks, months, years. Let's try to keep it short. I'm trying to have a marathon, not a sprint, in these discussions and explanations. Talks about themes and motifs. But anyway, why? Why did I do these things? Why did I write that in my journal? Well, you could say that I was, eager to get a girlfriend, right? When you're young, you're eager to find love and be romantic, have that someone, significant other. You think, okay, So I'm not denying that human and like soulful part of me. Like I want to share something intimate with someone. Okay. That I really want. But was everybody doing that? I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know that many people that journaled about that. And if you do, if you're one of those people, congratulations, we're the same. Me and you, we can relate. But were you also the same person in the gym room, you know, on PE class or multi fitness class? Did you give up early in the push up and sit up test? In the sit up test, I didn't really like always do that. Like I was so tired from the push up test. Usually we did the push up test first. But the push up test, I took so much pride in. This is pride. It's pride talk right here, right now. This is pride talk. That I wanted to be the last one standing, last man standing. My ego, my pride, I wanted to be the best. So this is, when I say that to you, when I'm saying this, you believe it. What I just said, you believe it because you hold it to me, because I know it was true. I lived it. So whatever I just said 20, 30 seconds ago, I have pride. I take pride in what I do. I take pride in what I've done, my accomplishments, my achievements. That old version of me hasn't changed too much. I'm still the same. I still want to be the best that I can possibly be. The best me that I can possibly be. Does my environment influence me? Yeah. Does it not sometimes? Of course. Am I driven internally? Absolutely. Am I also driven externally? You bet your fucking ass. You bet. Yes, I am. I'm driven both. I'm competitive, prideful, but I'm also very compassionate, you know, and loving. And not everybody shares this zest the same way that I do. And that's okay. See, me being this aware, knowing that I'm this cognizant of what's coming out of my mouth, that knowing that it holds true to my truth, like, this is my journey to self-actualization. Like, I know that what I speak of and what I speak about has been proven through my experience to be true. If I'm not the fastest in the room, if I'm not the best in the room, I am trying to figure out how to be. This is externally speaking. If there's other people in the room, you know, like, and this could be, some people could be looking at this from a very toxic or a very unhealthy behavior, but I'm not hurting anybody doing this. Like, it's not hurting anybody for me bringing, like, these people are inspiring me. I'm admiring others. If someone's better than me, I want to get that good. If you're better than me, I want to get as good as you and better. I might not be. I might not get there. But the chase is beautiful. The chase is that kind of stuff. That's how I live my life. Note that you just gotta find out what works for you. You just gotta find out what works for you. So fucking generic. But this is just, you know, this is my vlog. This is my journey. This is my truth. So if any of this helps, hopefully it does. Hopefully it inspires. Maybe you're the same. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're the opposite. Maybe you're not as driven to be number one. Maybe you're more driven by, like, I have a cousin who is more, he's not driven by like this desire to be, you know, first place, but his desire is more to like take care of his family and his friends, the people around him. In all honesty, that's what he's driven from. And there's nothing wrong with that. We need people like that. I need him in my life to be like that. I need him to be who he is. This is a fascinating subject because I think a lot of people live their life a certain way and they make certain videos or certain jabs at humanity and try to make humanity more like them. They're projecting. Man, if there's a, oh my God. Shout out to my boy Devon. I think he did this Facebook status about the word for 2022. The overused word for 2022 was projecting, or I don't know. That might have been one of them. Might have been a different word, but I think I've never heard the word projecting more in my life. If it in 2020, like any other year besides 2022, projecting. You're projecting. I think you're projecting. I project sometimes. I'm guilty of it. I just gotta check myself every now and then, right? Check yourself. Checks and balances, you guys. Checks and balances. Goodness. I projected a lot. Wow. Fuck. I'm intense. At least I know. I'm intense. But I know that about myself. I have to live life being who I am. And I may step on some toes. I may even make people feel uncomfortable because I operate in this fashion. But that's who I am. That's who I'm meant to be. And I have to own it. I'm not sorry for it either. I'm not going to apologize for being myself. I shouldn't have to. But every now and then I do say something hurtful, and hopefully it's not always intended to be hurtful. But if it hurts, then, you know, I didn't mean to hurt. If I meant it to hurt, you would know. You definitely know. For sure. I'm a peaceful guy, though. I'm very peaceful. Usually pretty calm. You know, don't like to stir up trouble. I like to shake the cage every now and then, but I'm not trying to open Pandora's box. At least not all the time. All right. Journey to self-actualization, guys. Journey to self-actualization. Do you know yourself? Because the only way you can know anything about the world is if you know yourself. Know thyself first. Then you can be just as in tune with the world. What is this, Lao Tzu? I think. Don't quote me on that too. But I think it is Art of War, Lao Tzu. Know thyself first. Then you can know thy enemy. Art of warfare. It is warfare out here, you guys. This is, man, war with yourself, you know, war with others. For real, it's a spiritual war. That's deep. That's a different talk. We ain't gotta go there. Not yet. We're only on the second episode. But let's talk about how to get to being self-actualized. That first step is primal. Let's go over the levels. Why not? You can look it up on your own free time. But Maslow's hierarchy of needs has that first level of being of your primal needs. Okay, let me look it up right here, just to pull it up as a reference. Primal. So for your physiological needs, right? Like sex, food, water, shelter, things of that nature. And that's a lot. Like that first part of the pyramid, breathing, food, water, sex, sleep, homeostasis, excretion. That's a huge chunk at the very base. Do you have those things? Maybe you don't. But you need it. You also got to be disciplined about those needs, your carnal needs. How can you be self-actualized if you don't know how to control your appetite? This is both gluttonous of food and sexual lustfulness too, right? Sins. Ooh, sinfulness. Yeah. Anyway, so your physiological needs, right? That's the first one. Safety. Feeling safe, guys. Security of body, employment, resources, morality of the family, health, of property. Are you in a state, not like an actual state like California or Idaho? Well, maybe. That could be, technically speaking, yeah, that could work. But are you in a state of mind where you feel safe? That no one's trying to, murder you. No one's trying to kill you. Or like you're not being abused. Not many people get this liberty, you guys. Not many people have this kind of liberty and freedom in their households. Yeah. And I feel for the people. I feel for them. It's tough life. Not everybody has rights. So, safety and security. Check. Physiological, safety. Let's go right above the safety. Love and belonging. Love and belonging. Do you have friendships? Do you have family? Do you have a romantic partner? AKA sexual intimacy. Now this is an interesting area. This is a very interesting area. Because as humans, as people, we all want to have a sense of belonging. That we belong here on earth, that we have a purpose, that we're loved and cared for, that we're liked. Oh, man. That's a hard one. A lot of people love you. A lot of people have like unconditional love, like your mother, father. People of that nature have that unconditional love for you. But man, being liked, that's a tough one. Not a lot of that's a part of belonging, like do people like you enough that you can belong in their circle? You're not meant for everybody, but notice who welcomes you, right? Don't take that for granted. Because the real currency in life is your relationships. Esteem. Right above love and belonging is your esteem. Self-esteem. Confidence. Achievement. Respect of others. Respect by others. Let's touch upon that a little bit. Your self-esteem is how you feel about yourself, right? So how you feel about yourself. Do you respect yourself? How do you expect anybody to respect you if you don't even respect your fucking self? How? Fucking how? The hell? You can ask somebody to respect you when you don't even respect yourself. Now this has a lot to do with the other levels below, but you need to establish all those other ones to get to this level right here. Having a good, healthy level of self-esteem. A high amount of self-esteem. Now this comes from experience, work. What have you done? Why should I respect you? Why should you respect yourself? I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what. Well, here's what worked for me. Okay, I can only speak from myself. Is that I have been disrespectful before, but in those moments of disrespect, I've been checked. I live a life of discipline currently because I've done things. I've pushed certain boundaries where I'm like, oh man, yeah, I could be reckless. I could. I've done it. Ish. I didn't get that wild. I didn't have to. But that reserve to stay on the path of discipline, it brings respect from others. Also, I put in the work. I work on my actual physical body, that if it came to worst case scenario, I'd have to use it on somebody else, then I'd have to go there. And I'm not afraid to go there. Yeah. So this brings a certain level of confidence, knowing how to defend yourself. Lots of people who've done mixed martial arts talk about this, right? But also, just being real. Just real and authentic. It's like, I've been put in positions where I had to take on responsibility. Here's a huge keyword, is responsibility. I have respect from others because I've dealt with major responsibility. I could have shied it away. I could have pushed it away. I could have not answered the phone call. I could have stepped. Oh, let me fuck off. But I didn't. I embraced the challenge. I took it head on. Two types of people in this world, right? Like Al Pacino says in Scent of Woman. Those who face the music and those who run for cover. Cover's safer. Safer. Every now and then it's okay to be safe, but boy, do I love facing the music. I usually choose to face the music. It's usually my first choice. I can do both, but I usually choose to face the music. So now, self-esteem. After self-esteem is this part of the top of the pyramid. Self-actualization. Wow, it is 3:59 a.m. And I worked a double. Goodness. Anyway. Self-actualization. Morality, creativity, spontaneity, problem solving, lack of prejudice, acceptance of facts. Now, I don't know what your guys' answer is for yourselves, but this is something that you have to dive into on your own. But do you have a good moral compass? A moral compass. Do you have a good moral compass? Do you know right from wrong? Ooh, what's right and wrong? It's all subjective. There's an argument there. There's a good argument. This can go back and forth between right and wrong. But I would argue that it's not as subjective as people think. Especially if you want to have a good, especially for if you live in, like first world, or you live in, if you can relate to living in somewhere that's similar to the US of A, where I live, right? Right and wrong, have a good sense of right and wrong. Just making a decision in the moment. My professor used to we would always play this game of status, and the key thing is to always operate from a place of love. That's a little secret. Sorry I gave it away. Professor G, I won't give his full name out, but Professor G love, guys. Love. Operate from a place of love. Selfless. Because where does love in its purest form come from? It comes from selflessness. Because the human part of us wants to be selfish. But the higher part, your spirit, your soul, right, is the selfless part. That's the part that knows better. Usually. It does. Yeah. So morality, creativity, spontaneity. Creativity, spontaneity, critical thinking, things like that. Like you ever just act on your ideas? Like you're an idea machine. So it's just so funny because I know this about myself. I don't know about you guys. Some people need to think things through usually, but when I dance, and it came so natural, because I could imagine it. Like my imagination would go crazy with music, right? Usually my first ideas are some of my best ideas. Usually. But this is what works for me. I can always refine it, of course, but how my mind works, it's so fast, right? And I usually trust the first response. Like, what does it want to do first, right? And just go with that. Just go with that flow. And this goes towards being spontaneous, right? Like you won't know. You wouldn't know what I'm about to do. But I've gotten to a place where I could do that. It comes from training the body, of course, training the mind. Being unpredictable. Yeah. You do have to feed your mind, though, for sure. And feeding your mind and being disciplined also helps you solve problems. There's a problem that's presented to you, and you solve it. Point blank. And if you don't know how in the beginning, you figure out how. It's the price you pay for wanting to be self-actualized and wanting to be not just good, but great at something. You're going to be presented with problems. More and more problems. Bigger and bigger problems. New levels, new devils. I wouldn't have it any other way, though, personally. Lack of prejudice. Ooh, this is kind of... I don't remember actually reading this, but this is really interesting. A lack of a preconceived notion. This is so powerful. That is powerful right there. To take people as who they are. You know, you're not trying to change anybody. You know, I talked to my friend Neil about this a lot, and he learned this from, I believe, his aunt. His aunt tells him, never put someone in a situation where they can lie to you, because they will. Or you put someone in a situation where they'll show and share their true colors, and they will. They will. It's just, no judgment. Maybe you judge a little bit, but like, you know, can you really judge that much? Because we're all mirrors now. We're all mirrors here. You know? Like, we're all here on the same planet. Going through life together. Come on now. You judge a little bit, but nah. Take that judgment, push it to the side, because fuck. We're all on a journey. So that lack of prejudice, acceptance of facts. This acceptance of facts meaning you see things more objectively. I was actually having a conversation with some of my friends about monogamous and polyamorous relationships, or having multiple wives and all this jazz, right? And there was a conversation about you know, having multiple wives and whether you're gonna have the same respect for all of them. My argument is that you're not. Is that you won't have the same level of respect for all of them, because things change through time and circumstance. And I looked at it as an equation, is that each wife will add and subtract things. Either you're adding to each other's lives in moments of peace and crisis, or, you know, you might subtract. Are they going to subtract? Is your wife going to subtract bits and pieces of who you are as a person because of her own selfish needs? Now, we're all selfish in some way, shape, or form, but I'm talking about, like, you have to gauge this. You'd have to gauge it on your own. You have to gauge your significant others, in this particular setting, your wife's selfish needs. We all have needs. But is her needs taking parts of you away? that make you less of yourself. That, to me, it's not worth it. So that's why I say you won't respect all of them the same. This goes with any relationships you have with romantic partners and relationships in general, but in this case, romantic. So, self-actualization. There's more to be said, but that's the pyramid. We're here at 35 minutes, 35 seconds. And the clock keeps going on and on and on. Appreciate you for tuning in. Blessings. Major blessings. I'm gonna head to bed now because I got another double. So tune in for the next episode. This was episode 2. Journey to self-actualization. More to be said. Peace.